You are here because you are amazing. Promise you'll be terrified the whole video. Now let's begin. The crisp October air sent a shiver down my spine as I approached the old, decrepit mansion on the outskirts of town. Its ancient timbers groaned with every gust of wind, and the gnarled trees in the yard cast eerie, elongated shadows in the dim moonlight. It was the setting for the most anticipated Halloween party of the year, and I couldn't resist the allure of spending the night in a place that whispered of ghosts and secrets. The moment I stepped inside, a wave of unease washed over me. The mansion was adorned with cobwebs and flickering candles, casting flickering shadows on the peeling wallpaper. My footsteps echoed through the hallways, and I had to suppress a shiver as I thought of the tales I'd heard about this place. Stories of hauntings, disappearances, and unholy rituals. The party was in full swing, with guests donning elaborate costumes that ranged from classic monsters to the most inventive, chilling creations. I mingled with the crowd, trying to mask my unease with laughter and drinks. The drinks flowed freely, and the music pulsed in time with my racing heart. As the night wore on, the mansion seemed to come alive with sinister energy. In one corner, a fortune teller with piercing, cloudy eyes read tarot cards for a group of partygoers, speaking in hushed tones that sent shivers down their spines. In another room, a seance was taking place, a circle of people clasping hands as they called upon spirits from the great beyond. The flickering candlelight seemed to dance with the restless souls of the mansion's past. As midnight approached, a hush fell over the gathering. The host, a mysterious figure known only as the Master of Shadows, stood on the grand staircase. The tall, dark silhouette seemed to absorb the light, and their voice was a deep, haunting whisper as they announced a game. A game of fear. We were to pair off, each with a partner, and venture into the mansion's labyrinthine depths. Armed with nothing but a candle, we were tasked with finding a hidden object of great importance. The catch? The mansion was rumored to be haunted, and the object was said to be guarded by malevolent spirits. Whoever found it would be granted a mysterious boon, but only if they returned before dawn. I partnered with a girl named Mary, a fellow thrill-seeker with a determination that mirrored my own. Our candle's feeble flame cast long, wavering shadows on the cracked and creaking floorboards as we ventured deeper into the darkness. The air grew colder, and we could hear faint whispers like the distant echoes of tormented souls. Mary's fingers tightened around my arm, and I could feel her trembling. "Do you believe in ghosts?" she whispered, her voice quivering. I swallowed hard and tried to sound confident. "Nah, it's just an old house and we're playing a spooky game. That's all." But the doubt gnawed at me. The stories about this mansion were too vivid, too unsettling. The deeper we delved, the more certain I became that we were not alone. We heard strange noises, footsteps that didn't belong to us, whispers that didn't match the wind. The flickering candlelight played tricks on our eyes, casting fleeting, ghostly figures in our peripheral vision. Then we stumbled upon a room that froze the blood in our veins. It was a decrepit nursery, with dusty, shattered toys strewn across the floor. The walls were adorned with faded, tattered wallpaper, depicting scenes of innocent children playing, their eyes now vacant and eerie. In the center of the room stood a crib, and as the candlelight flickered, I could have sworn I saw a shadowy figure swaying gently above it. Mary's grip on my arm tightened even more. "We should leave now," she said, her voice barely a whisper. I agreed, and we turned to make our way back to the safety of the party. But the corridor outside the nursery had changed. The once straight path had twisted into a maze of narrow, winding passages. Panic surged through me, and the candle's flame wavered as I desperately tried to find our way back. As we wandered through the dark and winding corridors, the mansion seemed to close in around us, its malevolence growing stronger. We could hear whispers, laughter, and cries that echoed through the walls, taunting us. Every flicker of the candlelight cast grotesque shadows, and I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. The hours crept by, and dawn seemed impossibly distant. I could see the fear in Mary's eyes as she clung to my arm, her fingers now cold and clammy. The mansion's horrors were closing in on us, and I began to doubt if we would ever escape. We had become unwitting participants in a macabre nightmare. Suddenly, a door creaked open ahead, revealing a room bathed in a strange, unearthly light. We cautiously entered, and in its center we saw the object we had been searching for, a glistening, ornate key. The key to what we didn't know, but our desperation urged us to seize it. Don't forget, at 10,000 subscribers, I'll give away a $100 prize or cash equivalent to a lucky subscriber each week, so make sure you subscribe. Now let's continue. With trembling hands, I reached out, but just as I was about to grasp the key, the room plunged into darkness. The candle's flame extinguished, and we were enveloped in a suffocating, abyssal blackness. Panic surged through me, and I fumbled for the matches in my pocket, my hands shaking so violently that they were nearly useless. Finally, I managed to strike a match and ignite the candle. But when the room was once again bathed in its flickering light, the key had vanished. I could feel our chances of escaping this malevolent mansion slipping away. Mary and I decided to retrace our steps, to find our way back to the room with the crib and the nursery wallpaper. It was our last hope, our final chance at escaping the horrors of this place. But the mansion had other plans. It seemed to shift and change, its corridors leading us in circles, and the oppressive darkness pressed in around us like a suffocating embrace. The night stretched on, and as the first hints of dawn began to lighten the horizon, we stumbled upon the room with the crib once more. The ghostly figure above the crib was still there, swaying, and as our candlelight danced upon it, it turned to us with hollow, soulless eyes. I couldn't take it any longer. My resolve crumbled, and I screamed, my voice echoing through the haunted mansion. The figure descended upon us with a horrifying, inhuman shriek, and as it reached out, I dropped the candle, and everything descended into darkness. When the police finally found us, it was well past dawn. We were both shivering, huddled in the room with the crib, our faces etched with terror. The mansion had released us from its sinister grip, but the horrors we had experienced that night would haunt us forever. As we stumbled out of the mansion, I glanced back one last time, and the building seemed to leer at us with its broken windows and sagging roof, as if it reveled in the fear it had wrought. I knew one thing for certain. I would never forget the Halloween night I had spent in that accursed mansion, a night when the boundary between the living and the dead had blurred, and the terrors of the past had come alive to torment us. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for me and like this video. Keep it creepy, and see you next time.